Hey, comic book movies. Well, if you guys already watched my top 10 favorite 2023, you already know what's number one, and I'm sure you can guess what the bottom one is. But hey, still gonna do the list because I do it every year because, hey, we talk about CBMs a lot. So here we go, guys. God, I hate the first one so much. What's happening, guys? Dave the Film Junkie here. All right, doing my top lists right here. Now I'm doing the ranking for the CBMs that came out in 2023, and it looks like we have 7. Hopefully I didn't forget one. I almost did forget one when I was first made the list. I went, oh shoot! And it's pretty bad too when I thought about like, oh man, maybe I just because recent events made me go, block it out, Dave. But here you go, guys. I'm going to rank the CBMs of 2022, and you guys already know what the frick the first one is, and get out of here. Ugh. Coming at the bottom of the list, you already know what it is because, oh, good freaking God. Thor Love and Thunder. Yes, Thor Love and Thunder. I hated it more than Ragnarok. After watching this movie, I watched Ragnarok and actually appreciated Ragnarok actually now. I actually like Ragnarok a little bit more because it kept a consistent tone. Didn't feel like entirely like a Saturday Night Live sketch, but this one did. And as much as I love Natalie Portman, Christian Bale, oh man, this movie just... Number 6, that's right, guys. Morbius. I enjoyed Morbius more than I enjoyed Thor Love and Thunder. Just saying, just shows you right there. Ugh, my God. And Morbius is pretty bad. It's bad. But I enjoyed it more than in Thor Love and Thunder. And I know Morbius is messy, and it took on like a meme. It took on a lot of things. It's all pretty crazy, but it's one of those where I could see just putting it on with friends and joking about it. But I mean, I couldn't do that with Thor Love and Thunder. Maybe I'd have to be really, But when it comes to Morbius, I could just, I could see the jokes, obviously see the reshoots, the messy editing and all that stuff. But yes, number 6, Morbius. Number 5, and yes, this counts, even though it's animation and whatever the hell, DC Super Pets. Yeah, it's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad. I did a first reaction. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. The thing, my biggest gripe was the fact that Dwayne Johnson was voicing Crypto. They couldn't get somebody else, but of course they have to keep on paying these actors to voice these characters, and his just didn't work. They could have saved themselves $22 million, probably more than that if they would have just got a voice actor to do it. That was my biggest gripe of it. Other than that, it's actually fairly enjoyable. Just saying. Number 4. Speaking of Dwayne Johnson, Black Adam. I like Black Adam just a little bit more than Super Pets. Just because I was actually impressed, and I've only watched it once, but I was impressed more by the action and the visuals, and like the JSA stuff. I mean, there's things that really go, wow, that was cool, that was great, that was fantastic, and then there's things that just were not so fantastic that I had gripes about. And then, of course, the biggest thing being the fact that Henry Cavill, Superman, was back. And then, of course, with recent events, that's probably why I literally forgot to put this in my list at first. I was like, wait a minute, I know I'm missing one. And then I looked at my phone, like, oh shit, Black Adam. I forgot to put Black Adam in the list. Probably because I was blocking it out of my brain because we lost our Superman. Number 3. Wakanda Forever. Yeah. This movie is actually, it wasn't in like my top 10. It was fine. I think the first one's better, but at the same time, I thought a lot of the things that they did in this movie was pretty great. I enjoyed it for the most part. The runtime, didn't feel it. Maybe it dragged a little bit, and there were some things where I was like, a little overacting in some parts. And there's a lot going on in this movie, but for the most part, it was still pretty well done. And given the even though I think they should recast T'Challa, recast Chadwick Boseman, may he rest in peace, but it was still better than the previous ones in my eyes. Number 2, and you guys know I defend this movie, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, I defend this movie. I enjoyed the absolute scheiße out of this movie. You guys saw my first reaction and even, discussing and everything. I'm just a Sam Raimi fan. I'm a big time Sam Raimi fan, and I love his movies. I love his style. This had a lot of Raimi-isms in it. Obviously, there were some things that still was MCU-esque that I didn't really like, but I know some people didn't like this movie. They didn't like the tone. They didn't like whatever the hell. I enjoy the absolute. I just thought, when it comes to an MCU movie, I like the MCU movies where the director's fingerprints are all over it, and this one did, and I really enjoyed it. I've watched it a couple of times, and yeah, man, it's great. I don't care. They fight with notes. They fight each other. It's great. Of course, number one. Come on. Did you not think that the Batman was not going to be number one? Of course you did. It's funny when I do my top 10 list, and then I think that was the only CBM that was on that list. I think, yeah, and yeah. So of course the Batman, because I'm a diehard Batman fan. I love what Matt Reeves did when it came to the Batman. I mean, there's a lot of people just thought it was boring and they couldn't get into it. I don't know, maybe it's just because I've seen the different styles of Batman comic books, and just I don't know. I just thought it was a unique take on the character, and curious to see what he does in the future. I was not, when Robert Pattinson got cast, I was like, what the hell? It still baffles me. I still want to travel back in time to 2011 when I watched the very first Twilight with my girlfriend at the time, and I was making fun of it the entire time, which she was getting pissed at me about, and I just want to show up, slap myself in the back of the head and go, he's going to be Batman 10 years from now, and you're going to love it. Would love to do that because I was impressed by Robert Pattinson. Is he my favorite cinematic Batman? No. He's not. Still Batfleck, but at the same time, I'm just like, man, still great stuff. So there you go, guys. There's the ranking of 2022 comic book movies. Let me know your list down below. How do you rank the movies? What's your worst? What's your favorite? Let me know. Hit that like, thumbs up. Do all that. And up. Where's that? There it is. Okay, it didn't pop up. Sorry, I'm still trying to work my little thing right here. Here we go. There's a subscribe and notification bell. Follow me on the Sock Meds, the Patreon, do all that. Trying to put stuff on there. And all right, guys, let's have a good 2023. See you next year.